But Kim, how did this place get so filthy? It's a pigsty here.
Hey, half this crap is yours.
And half of it is yours. Which half does this thing belong in? Hypnotic. Oh, hey!
I got friggin' cable!
My nasal irrigator. Why do this thing still works?
Crap!
You gotta try that. Oh!
The other bookshelf! What do you mean you got another bookshelf?
Wasn't expecting that. You think you're gonna be okay there off-screen, Kim?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, oh good. This is yours too.
Who am I? Who are you? Is this a house?
We begin the episode with Tuvok and Neelix in a shuttle.
Though helpful during my negotiations on the Kasad homeworld, Commander Tuvok certainly hasn't been the most sociable of travel companions.
Yes, it's going to be another Neelix-centered episode.
Do I like Neelix?
This is going to be a long one.
You think of something. Species, anomaly, or starship, and I have 15 questions to guess what it is. Come on.
I would prefer some peace and quiet.
How about a riddle?
And we see yet again, item number 1, Starfleet hates introverts. So, to alleviate his boredom, which Tuvok is not feeling, Neelix proposes a riddle, which turns out to be an awful dad joke.
A lone ensign finds himself stranded on a Class L planetoid with no rations. His only possession, a calendar. Why? Because he feasted on dates from the calendar.
Well, isn't that actually funny? It's more Andy Borowitz funny.
Oh, I think I get it. Neelix is a tool, right?
Now you're learning, boyo. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Where are you going?
To find some peace and quiet.
Can we come with you, Tuvok?
Take us with you.
Tuvok detects that someone's messing with their computer. He goes down to investigate and... he was scanning a cloaking frequency when suddenly he gets attacked. They get back to Voyager in time for the opening credits, but now Tuvok is in a coma. And so they call back an inspector from the planet Tuvok and Neelix had been returning from, and they send this guy. He blames Space Bigfoot. And that's only barely an exaggeration.
It's my belief they've been responsible for several unexplained attacks similar to this one.
Why wasn't I warned about them during my negotiations with your government?
Because my government's official position is that the Beneth do not exist.
Is this show always this dumb?
I'm honestly not sure myself.
There's nothing mythical about what happened to Mr. Tuvok. Why is your government so skeptical?
Because there have been so few encounters with the Beneth.
I don't know why, but this guy's giving out some strong Crichton from Red Dwarf vibes. What do you think?
It's a small off-duty Czechoslovakian traffic warden.
And, well, no one's ever actually seen one.
What's Crichton?
Oh, yeah.
What's this? It's a red and blue striped golfing umbrella.
Space Bigfoots usually don't leave survivors when they blast someone's brain, but Vulcan brains are tougher and he survived. Space Mulder is very excited by this because now he has a live brain to play with.
If you could only tell us what you saw, Mr. Tuvok.
I don't think we'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
Neelix is fixated on saving Tuvok, like Bizarrely so, more so than his best friend, which other than being Neelix's episode doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and he does a standard thing you see in every sitcom, talk to the guy in the coma.
Well, at least he's surrounding Tuvok with things that Tuvok himself likes.
And sadly, for Neelix that is a step up.
And I tried following the recipe in the computer's databank, but it seemed so bland. So I took the liberty of spicing it up a bit. Call it clonic soup a la Neelix.
Okay, so I think I'm starting to get it here.
Okay, well, let's have the first ever Kim's Corner.
I have a corner? That's awesome. Let's see, we've got a ship full of idiots and jerkbags, weird-ass aliens with conspiracy theories, which is kind of ass-backwards, but kind of cool, The standard characters in a coma plot, and I bet when he wakes up there's going to be shenanigans. God, this thing runs on just pure trope. Basically what I'm taking away from this is Neelix is a jerk, Tuvok is right not to tolerate him, but I bet that's all about to change. Oh god, why are the worst parts of my memory coming back first?
Mr. Neelix, what is that dreadful noise?
The chants of the monks of Tepenet. Personally, I think it's dreadful too, but it's one of Tuvok's favorites.
More annoying than this?
I woke up in Chris Brown's body. This is me coming at you as a man right now. Let me free.
And Tuvok wakes up in a desperate attempt to stop the mumble rap.
Oh no, he's sleepwalking again! There, fixed that. All better.
He seems freaked out by the doctor, but he trusts Neelix. So he's become the opposite of Season 1.
Well done, Mr. Neelix.
Meanwhile, Officer Crichton detects Space Bigfoot stink, as one does. His virtual boy manages to detect the first resonance blob energy thing from one of these aliens, and then Seven is able to make it even better, because that's what Seven does.
Tentacles.
My slash fic was accurate. It was always accurate. Tuvok is functional now, but he can't even speak yet, much less be useful in any way. Neelix throws him around the ship, but Tuvok is kind of acting like a child, learning everything brand new again.
Can he withstand the temptation to push the button that even now beckons him ever closer?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We'll be back later.
I don't respond well to threats.
They manage to adapt the Crichton/7 Bigfoot sensor to the ship and activate it, and lo and behold, they're surrounded by the things. The Bigfoot Armada opens fire.
Do you get to say things like that often?
It's a pretty good job, yeah. Tuvok senses the show's ratings and is afraid.
Seven, can you get their cloaking frequency?
They're blocking our scans.
We've lost them. I told you you'd be safe.
Yes. You did.
He can talk.
He can talk, 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 he can talk.
I can sing!
He meets with Crichton and Janeway, but can't remember the frequency he was scanning when he was attacked.
I thought we might have lunch later, just the two of us.
I prefer to stay with Neelix.
There's a quote that's going to haunt you until death. He tried to play Calto, a Vulcan logic game, but he sucks at it.
Hey, don't worry, Tuvok, you'll do better at Kerplunk.
So he researches his past career and feels inferior because in the past he was mentally capable.
Look how much progress you've made already.
He could dismantle a photonic warhead in less than 30 seconds. I can't even play Calto.
You know, I gotta say, this is a very cliche plot, but Tim Russ is playing this very well. He feels like a untrained version of the same person. He doesn't feel like a completely different person, but he certainly isn't playing this like normal Tuvok either.
I'm not a Vulcan! Not anymore!
I fed up with this world.
What's going on?
It's okay, Doctor. I can handle this. Please.
You're acting like a Vulcan from Enterprise. Stop it!
Everybody betrayed me.
Get away from me! You'd better go. But now, Mr. Neelix.
So Neelix meets with Soda 9 and they actually have a pretty good character scene.
So there are good scenes in this show.
It does happen, yes.
How do you find something that's invisible?
The Baneth.
No, actually it's Frodo Baggins screwing around with a night shift. Of course it's a Baneth!
When it's a Vulcan, no longer a Vulcan.
And when he's lost his logic.
Right. And And how does he get it back?
He must be taught.
Exactly. But what if he's brain damaged and emotionally unstable? How does he learn?
It may be impossible for him to learn what you're trying to teach.
So, Neelix vows to no longer try to help Tuvok restore his old self, and instead vows to try to help him create a new self.
It's for you.
He points out that Tuvok is now much more creative than he ever was, much more empathetic, etc., and that he's not all downside. Again, it's actually a pretty good scene.
Before your accident, you never would have considered that my feelings might have been hurt. You would have certainly never have made me a gift. And I certainly felt affection for you.
But I didn't return those feelings.
Barring the events of a certain drunken Arbor Day last year.
Well, you said things like, Mr. Neelix, please contain your exuberance. And, Mr. Neelix, I have no desire for fun.
And, Mr. Neelix, you are far overdue for a bludgeoning. So, he decides to be fun Tuvok, making desserts and laughing, pulling the stick out of his butt.
Have you remembered anything more about what happened on the flyer?
I detected a cloaking frequency.
Yes, that's right. Can you describe it?
So, Tuvok uses cake frosting to demonstrate the precise cloaking frequency. Because that's a precise way to measure things.
Do not question that he can do that because he's good at decorating cakes.
That could be a lot of things. It looks kind of like a game of Snake.
Broken Slinky.
Yeah, abstractly drawn accordion, maybe?
Nicely drawn picture of the Ghostbusters energy.
It could be the radiator in my old apartment.
Really bad drawn lightsaber.
I can't remember anything before an hour ago, and I know this is stupid.
So they use the frequency to track down Bigfoot's space station. They threaten to share the coordinates and get an immediate ceasefire.
A Cassat investigator aboard your vessel cannot be trusted.
Do you know about me?
You have been attempting to expose us for years. You are a threat.
If you give Captain Janeway what she wants, I'll give you the converter. You can use it to adapt your technology, so ours can no longer expose you.
That's magnanimous of you. Here, have my life's work. Whatever.
I don't think I'd hand it over.
It is interesting to watch Alien Guy just be so gratified that they give a crap about him. It's almost like he thinks to himself that, no, my work wasn't in vain because I'm famous to them, even if I'm not famous among my own people. I know that somebody knows and cares. And that makes it enough.
And then yet another actually decent moment between Tuvok and Neelix, where it turns out that now there will be a treatment. Tuvok doesn't want the treatment at first because he doesn't want to go back to being the uptight Tuvok that he normally was.
I want to be able to have fun. With you.
You won't call it fun. You'll call it deriving satisfaction. But it's basically the same thing.
Then how will you know how much I enjoy being with you?
You've just told me.
But Neelix convinced him to do it otherwise.
So Tuvok goes down to sickbay to have that stick reinserted.
And he comes back seeming like his old self. However...
Sundays.
I beg your pardon?
I have given further consideration to your riddle regarding the ensign who survived by consuming the dates from his calendar. It occurs to me that he could also have eaten the Sundays.
And we end the episode. This is a hard one to read because on one hand, it's very cliche, but on the other hand, there are some good character moments, and I still maintain that Star Trek's strength is its characters. When it's character-centered, even a dumb premise kind of works, because even annoying characters, when they're played well, can come through.
Even if this is the first episode of Voyager you've ever watched, which I don't recommend you do that, you can still kind of see the skeleton of the show here and of certain characters. And you can tell where everything's going to go pretty well. There's going to be an inversion of Tuvok's personality after the accident. They're going to push the reset button at the end. But there's one or two decent scenes in it that make it worth a watch.
So as usual, decide for yourselves. But as for me, I'm calling Riddles an SOS Voyager. I think they actually managed to pull it off.
Hey, wait a minute. You threw a barbell at me!
Yeah, but it was the flash drive that actually knocked your memory out. Ah!